It's Free Art Wednesday. Last week's winner was Squid, and I had promised that I would be recording these from now on just to kind of add a little extra flair to the videos. Squid wanted me to draw her persona, so that is who I drew. She looked like a happy character, so I kind of went with like an open mouth, happy expression. It's always interesting because the normal Waha, you have the main, it's kind of like a side view. You don't really see the front of it, so I kind of assumed you'd probably have a little bit more layering in there. So I did add the extra layering on top of the part that goes over the face. And I'm pretty excited because I am ahead of the game. Today is Sunday, so this video obviously will go up on Wednesday, which kind of gives me a little bit more time to maybe get a couple things done for the beginning of the week. And I'm really thrilled that everybody seems to be enjoying my custom patch contest. I was a little nervous to release that one, so it's nice to get all the positive feedback. And I've been using the ink brush for the inking, and I'm liking how it looks. I definitely think I've figured out that part of this whole new style thing. Then what I did for her colors is I actually did each marking separately on different layers and merged them all later on, so it looks like I've wasted a lot of time with some of the markings because they do get covered up, but I wanted to make sure that I was doing a real representation of how the markings would look. So I actually built it like the custom tool on Wajas would build it, just to try to get the most authentic marking design on here. Though of course once I add the shading it does change it quite a bit, even just in that regard. But I gotta say too, I really love that star on the forehead. That's one thing we miss on the side profiles, is we don't get to see those types of details on the front, so I thought the star on the forehead was super cool. And let's see, so she has kind of like a wintry backdrop, so I tried to do the colors more of a coldish wintry type feel. So I used like a darker blue for the shading instead of black. Just kind of gives it more like a cold, chill feeling rather than just like a dull gray, which was what would happen if you just put the black on there. Drop the transparency. So that was kind of my approach here. And then I used orange just so I could see where I was marking, and then changed the color later on and blended it all in, which is kind of the same deal I've been doing for all these types of drawings. I'm just trying to challenge myself by using different colors or things I might not necessarily have done in the past. And right here is just some black for some additional shading to try to give it a little bit more depth. So I had created a thread on Wajas a few days ago. I think it was the 26th actually, which is more than a few days ago. And I was just asking if you guys had any questions. This is kind of the first time I'm going through and really reading the questions, so it's going to be kind of a answer on the spot type of deal. Kumquats is the first person that had responded and posted several questions. Where did you get the idea of Wajas? I've answered that one, but in a nutshell, it started off as an adoptable. At the time, adoptables were really starting to gain attention, and it was kind of an easy, quick way to make money on different sites. So at the time, I was on Pony Island, and that's kind of how I jump-started my program there for breeding the ponies. My little ponies. But I'm thinking what I need to do is make like specific videos for certain questions. Then I can probably shove all those into like a frequently asked question playlist, and then that way I can kind of direct people there, because I feel like I'm kind of just sounding like a broken record. I know I keep saying, well, I did answer that one, I did answer that one. Of course not everybody's going to see every single video or hear all the different pieces, so it might be wise to kind of have a playlist for the questions that are continuously asked. And don't get me wrong, I really appreciate everybody taking the time to leave the questions and show an interest. I'm just thinking that it probably would be nice to have just a little archive of those videos. How did all the lore and stuff come about? A lot of the credit has to go to staff, especially the last couple of years. Staff has been working really hard to build in a lot of lore into the site. We added NPCs to the shops officially a couple years ago as well, and it was just recently that we've started adding all the details and the background stories. That was one of the reasons why we really wanted to get that library up, because it just was the perfect opportunity and the perfect location for all those types of background stories and lore and credits and things like that. A lot of it really comes from staff and their hard work and their efforts. They've put so much time into it. How are the new markings made? Kind of the same way they were last time. It's just a solid color on a transparent background. Will there ever be a new breed? Probably not, but we're trying to figure out something that will kind of act as a new breed, but not quite. It's kind of a complicated one that I don't really want to spill too much information on in case it changes drastically. But we are trying to figure something out for that. What is your favorite marking mutation / breed? I like Bewildered Beast. I like the stripes. I like a lot of spots. Mutation would probably be Punk Mane and Tri-Wings. Breed would probably be Normal, Forest, Egyptian. I guess I don't really have like a main breed that I just love. I just kind of default go to Normal. It's just like my go-to for figuring everything out. Though I'm pretty easygoing for those types of things, I do find that sometimes a design might look horrible on one breed, then look really good on another breed. So I do have a habit of changing breeds around when I buy Wajas from other people and tweaking things like that. So I'm pretty flexible. I could probably answer the which breeds do I dislike the most easier than which ones are my favorites. I know that African I kind of wish was a different angle. Ariel, I would like to redraw and give it like a thicker line art. The water Waha bugs me in so many different ways. I'd like to tweak that. I'd like to tweak the wings on the Divine, but we know how that ends up when I do poke at that. So, there's a few things here and there I would love to tweak for the breeds that bug me, but I don't really hate any breeds, but I don't really have a number one either. The next questions come from Blue, and they asked, how are you so freaking talented? Anybody can draw. Anybody can get experience and, build up their skill set. It's like with really anything. You don't just wake up with the skill. You have to work at it and study and get lots of experience and practice. So it really goes with any kind of skill set. You gotta work on it. And that's all I've done the majority of my life is work on my skill set, my art, trying to improve and study the different things here and there. I took a few classes and this and that. So it's really just practicing and studying. And I don't claim or pretend to be the best artist out there. I know I have a lot of things that I can improve and a lot of stuff that I need to study and remind myself of, revisit anatomy and color theory and all of that. I don't try to come off as a know-it-all, and I definitely acknowledge that I have room to grow and everybody else has room to grow. That's the thing about art is you're always trying to improve and push the boundaries and see what you can improve on going forward. I'm pretty confident that anyone can draw. You just have to put the time in and really learn how to draw. Don't draw like you think you're supposed to draw, but actually be taught how to draw. It's like really any skill set. You just have to be taught and learn and practice. It's definitely a never-ending journey to perfecting your style. And even saying perfecting is not correct, because you're probably never going to get it perfect. The artist is always seeing things that maybe that the viewer is not. So there's always room to grow and trying different things. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to try this new style, was just to push myself to do something different, and it's kind of like a refreshing approach to drawing. Anyways, if you like the artwork and would like the chance to win some free artwork of your own, please consider commenting, liking, and subscribing. And this Friday I will randomly pull a winner for next week's drawing.